The waiting is over. The EFL Championship is upon us. West Ham United make the trip to Lancashire, where they'll play Burnley at Turf Moor in a 4 p.m. kickoff. This is a fixture that's rammed full of subplots and storylines. Both clubs were relegated from the Premier League last season. Both clubs will want to bounce straight back up at the first time of asking. Burnley have a new manager. West Ham still have Nuno at the helm. Both squads are in the process of a rebuild. And we go into this fixture with an unbeaten pre-season and a 3-1 win in the Carabao Cup against Portsmouth at London Stadium last weekend. Burnley, on the other hand, have had something of a mixed pre-season, it's fair to say, but we'll get stuck into that. Before we dive into key players, tactical battles, and much more besides, do us a favour and just drop a like on this stream, give us a hype if you've got one available, get your comments in the section below, share this onto your social media platforms, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, as around about 60% of our viewership in the last 28 days aren't, then it would really help us tremendously if you could subscribe to the channel by scanning the QR code that's in the top left-hand corner. It will take you to our YouTube subscription page, and subscribing to the channel is free, data safe, and only takes a couple of seconds of your time and helps to grow the channel into something bigger and better than it is as you currently find it. And we thank you very much indeed for your support. So let's get back into it. Now, Burnley's new head coach, Nicky Hayen, takes charge of his first English League match. He arrives with a serious pedigree, league titles, cup wins, Champions League knockout experience. His style is high energy pressing, structured possession, continental tactical approach, strong development of young players, and quick squad rebuilds is one of the traits that he's known for. Burnley's pre-season, as I say, was quite up and down, but there seems to be a clear philosophy that's developing. Modern possession-based football with aggressive off-the-ball work. Let's talk about some key players for Burnley. Now, unfortunately, it looks like Josh Cullen will be unavailable. He's got a serious knee injury and he's expected to be unavailable for this game. He's their captain, he's their organiser, he's their tempo setter, and his absence will massively affect Burnley's control in midfield and is to our advantage, it has to be noted. Their main attacking threat, though, is 𝔹𝕤𝕤𝕟 Flemming. 𝔹𝕤𝕤 Flemming was their player of the year last year, and he's their most dangerous attacker. He's someone that's an attacking midfielder come forward. He drifts between the lines, he receives the ball under pressure, and he drives at opposition centre-backs. He's powerful, he's press-resistant, and he drives in tight spaces. If he gets the time between midfield and defence, Burnley will be dangerous. And then there's Kyle Walker, and I think he'll be coming up against 𝕬𝕠𝕠𝕚, who I expect will be starting from debut against Burnley. So that will bring him in a direct competition with this player, Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker, despite the fact he's 36 years of age, he's still got an amazing amount of pace. He's got a lot of experience to call upon. He's tactically disciplined. He's got great leadership credentials. And I think he will be a huge test for us as far as getting a positive result here is concerned. Burnley have a number of other players that they've brought in, the likes of 𝕐𝕐 Recoba, who's an energetic midfielder they've brought in from Lille, and Luc Castel, who's a talented Spain youth international. There are a few injury concerns, however. Jayden Bernal and Connor Roberts are being assessed, and Jordan Bayer remains a long-term injury concern, and I've already mentioned Josh Cullen earlier. So Burnley are not at full strength. But as far as we're concerned, we've got Thomas Souček, who we know is out with an ankle ligament injury, although he is making great progress, and it's believed he could be available in about the next 4 weeks. But 𝕋 Madrid is also expected to be out, but his fitness is still being assessed. But the good news is that Manor Solomon is very likely to make his debut. Joel Veltman obviously made a cameo against Portsmouth. He will also be involved in the squad in one way, shape or form. There's also a chance that, as I recall this, it's not yet been announced that 𝕕𝕤𝕠𝕟 is been confirmed, but it's widely believed he will be at least a West Ham player, if not for this game, but for the following game against Charlton, it's expected. In terms of our head-to-head history, West Ham United have the edge. We've got 42 wins to their 35, with 21 of the fixtures ending in a draw. But in terms of our recent success at Turf Moor, we're unbeaten in our last 4 visits with 3 wins to West Ham United, including a 2-0 victory earlier this year. So Turf Moor is never an easy place to go, but we have had the edge recently. Now, if we want to mention a few crossover players, Josh Cullen I mentioned earlier, Danny Ings, Joe Hart, Matty Taylor, Ian Moore. A lot of people will have forgotten that he played for us. He had a brief spell, but he had a long career at Burnley. And James Ward-Prowse had a loan spell there last season. In terms of tactical battles, As I mentioned earlier, Kyle Walker, I believe, will come up against 𝔹𝕤𝕤𝕟, and I think this is the matchup that could shape the entire game. 𝔹𝕤𝕤𝕟 will operate off of the left and cut inside aggressively and attack the half spaces with pace and tight control. And his acceleration over short distances is exactly the type of threat that an ageing defender such as Kyle Walker will absolutely not want to have thrown at him. But so Kyle Walker will try to slow 𝔹𝕤𝕤𝕟 down. He will try to force him wide, and he will use every bit of experience he's got. He's a wily operator, is Kyle Walker. And 𝔹𝕤𝕤𝕟 will try and isolate Kyle Walker and turn him and break the lines. So if 𝔹𝕤𝕤𝕟 wins this duel, West Ham will create chances for the likes of Castellanos and Bowen. Whereas if Kyle Walker wins that particular duel, Burnley will stay compact and resolute and difficult to break down. Now, with Josh Cullen out, it's widely expected that 𝔹𝕒𝕕 and 𝕩 will comprise the Burnley midfield against West Ham. And with them in place, we must press early, we must win second balls, and we must prevent 𝔹𝕒𝕤𝕟 Flemming from receiving the ball from these two between the lines. Now, if Burnley's young midfield pair can settle, they could disrupt our rhythm. So that is quite an important area of the pitch to concentrate on. And in terms of 𝔹𝕒𝕤𝕟 Flemming himself, his matchup against Kilman and Mavropanos will be quite interesting because Flemming is Burnley's most dangerous attacking player, I believe. He drifts into pockets, he receives under pressure, and he will drive at the centre-backs, and he will cause them both a bit of problems. So it's important that Kilman stays calm and composed, and when he's got the opportunity to step out with the ball, that he does so from centre-back to midfield position. He did it against Portsmouth towards the end, and he looked composed doing it. And it's important that he stays strong in the one-on-ones. As far as Mavropanos is concerned, he's got to be aggressive, he's got to be on the front foot, and he's got to maintain a physical dominance over Flemming. Now, if Kilman and Mavropanos manage to shut him down, Burnley will lose their main creative attacking outlet. In terms of my score prediction and my final thoughts, I think we're coming into this with a lot of confidence. As I say, we was unbeaten in pre-season and we beat Portsmouth last week 3-1. So there's a certain amount of confidence. There's a bit of momentum there. The squad's being gradually put together, a little bit later than we would have liked, but it's gradually getting there. We've obviously brought in the previous week or so 𝔹𝕣𝕒𝕟𝕟𝕚, 𝔕𝕤𝕤𝕟. It's widely expected that ℕ𝕣𝕒𝕠𝕠𝕟𝕠 is imminent. And there's possibly going to be some more business done before the end of the transfer window. Whether Axel Disasi is one of those remains to be seen. But in terms of my prediction for the score against Burnley, as I say, have got a new manager. They're still getting to know him. They're still getting to calibrate the way that he wants them to play. And obviously, as I say, their pre-season was quite up and down. In terms of my prediction, I think that it's going to be 2-0 to West Ham United. I think Castellanos and Bowen will be the two that get on the score sheet, same as they did against Portsmouth. But I think that 𝔹𝕤𝕤𝕟𝕠𝕟 will come in and he will absolutely dominate our left-hand side. He will cause Kyle Walker problems the whole 90 minutes. And I think he will be the difference maker in transitions, and he will have a key part to play in both of the goals, I suspect, and our attacking outlet. A clean sheet, a statement win, the perfect start to our season. That's my thoughts on it. But you might have some other thoughts on it and much more besides. So get stuck into the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Burnley, West Ham United, EFL Championship, match day 1 of 46. And if you could drop a like on the stream and give us a hype if you've got one available, that is what pushes the content out to places that otherwise might not reach. That would be much appreciated. Share this on your social media platforms. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, like roughly 60% of our viewership in the last 28 days are not, it would really help us out if you could get out your mobile device and scan that QR code that's in the top left-hand corner of your screen. It takes you to our YouTube subscription page. Subscribing is free, data safe, only takes a couple of seconds of your time and helps to grow the channel. It's something bigger than what it is as you currently find it. Thank you very much indeed for your support, and we'll see you again soon. Come on, you Irons.